All right, y'all, so here's the scoop. Lori Harvey is fed up with the tales being spun about her, accusing her of being a 304 who manipulates men. She's clearing the air now. Word on the street is she's being framed by Steve. Have you heard the rumors about Steve hanging out at those Diddy parties? Lori's stepping up to say it's not just that he was there. He was allegedly caught on camera getting up to some wild antics, if you catch my drift. Lori's done with the nonsense and is out here telling her side of the story. Everyone, take a seat because Lori's about to let all the secrets out. So did Steve really push her towards Diddy to cover up his own misdeeds? Let's dive into this mess. It seems Lori has had enough and is calling out her stepdad, Steve Harvey, revealing his supposed liaisons at Diddy's notorious get-togethers. She claims that not only was Steve a regular at these wild parties, but he's also featured on those tapes, confiscated by Homeland Security during their March raid on Diddy's estates. Even more so, she's alleging that Steve tried to trade her to Diddy to conceal his own dubious dealings with him. Now let me tell y'all, this is wild. Honestly though, it's not entirely unbelievable, considering how Steve has always seemed to favor Lori over his other kids, even his own flesh and blood. Take, for instance, how he'd bring only Lori to those special father-daughter dinners at our favorite Japanese spot. He'd open up about guys, reassuring me that he'd always support and love me, no questions asked. Contrast that with his twin daughters, who hardly shared any such moments with him, let alone having him show up for their graduation. I knew these twins from high school. They were a bit older, but the chatter was always there, given who their dad was. His absence at their graduation didn't go unnoticed, and it wasn't just the twins who felt neglected. His treatment of his son was even more disheartening. My dad wasn't a constant in my life until I turned 16, and don't get me started on his second son, Winton, who was so severely disciplined by Steve that the police and CPS got involved, as reported by TMZ. The reports were grim. Steve had used a belt and a paddleboard, the kind fraternities use for hazing. The police documented the boy's injuries, bruises and cuts so severe that, horrifically, he struggled to urinate for days following the incident. It's heartbreaking, really. The buzz around the case eventually dwindled, and rumors swirled that Steve had influenced the authorities to bury the incident. This whole saga made people question why Lori was treated so differently. Some theorized it was her attractiveness that made Steve see her as some kind of golden ticket he could cash in on. Recall the jealousy from Steve's other children as Lori's love life made headlines and propelled her career. Insiders have pointed out that Steve wasn't just meddling. He was masterminding her romantic connections, effectively serving her up to various high-profile figures. And get this, the prime beneficiary of Steve's so-called matchmaking was Diddy himself. Cast your mind back to 2019 when Lori and Diddy's romance took everyone by surprise, baffling folks with their significant age difference of 28 years. What on earth did they even discuss? And just when you thought it couldn't get more bizarre, remember that Diddy was already a father when Lori was just entering the world. Think about that dynamic. So that's where we're at with this drama-filled revelation. Lori Harvey is pulling back the curtain on the orchestrated life she's been pushed into, spotlighting the preferential treatment and manipulations from the man who should have been her protector. All right, here we go. Y'all, Diddy's son was actually older than his dad's latest flame. Now, here's where it gets even spookier. Turns out Diddy had known Lori since her teen years. Given that Diddy and Steve were in the same elite circles, not tight, but familiar, it meant Diddy had seen Lori grow up, and yet he ended up dating her. The twist? Sources claim Lori was pushed into this by Steve, eyeing it as a chance to elevate the Harvey name and cover up their messy dealings. Back when the whispers of this romance started, everyone thought Steve would step in and cut it off. But no, to everyone's dismay, he didn't. Instead, he and Marjorie endorsed the pair, even tagging along on romantic trips. Imagine giving the thumbs up for your 22-year-old daughter to date a man over twice her age, and joining them on vacation. That's another level. But the plot thickens. Insiders suggest Steve wasn't just along for the ride. He was there to throw Diddy and Lori together as a distraction. This drama ramped up following Kim Porter's tragic death. Lori and Kim were close, real close. Lori's tribute to Kim was poignant, having a hard time processing this one. You were such a beautiful person inside and out. I'm so glad I told you how much I loved and missed you the last time I saw you. Your energy was truly something special. an angel on earth, and now in heaven. Rip, Mama Kim. So when Lori jumped into a relationship with Diddy mere months after Kim's passing, it raised eyebrows. What kind of friend does that? But insiders hint it's not Lori playing the villain here. It's Steve pulling the strings, even allegedly forcing Lori to delete her tribute to Kim, worried it cast a shadow over her. Now let's talk about something as simple as nail polish turning significant. Yep, you heard right. Lori's choice of white nail polish during her time with Diddy wasn't just a style statement. Following Cassie's lawsuit, where she revealed Diddy's peculiar taste for white nails, supposedly to contrast against the dark skin of the male escorts he preferred, it all starts to connect. And it wasn't just Cassie. Young Miami and even Diddy's mother were spotted in white nails around him, sparking all sorts of wild theories. Things got even stranger when Lori ditched the white polish post-breakup, leading fans to speculate she'd seen or endured some dark stuff with Diddy. Yet, through it all, Steve seemed cool as long as Lori stayed in the spotlight, closely tied to Diddy. Hold up, because there's more. Another source blew the lid off Steve's attempt to set Lori up with none other than Jay-Z. This bombshell rocked social media, with folks accusing Lori of cozying up to Jay-Z. But insiders claim it was all Steve's orchestration. Remember 2019? That's when Lori got the invite to the Rock Nation brunch from Jay-Z himself. A big deal, considering the celebrity-packed guest list. Lori showed up looking stunning, but it wasn't her outfit that got people talking. It was her chummy chat with Jay-Z, caught on her Instagram, where it seemed like she was flirting, tilting her head, laughing at his jokes. That clip sent Beyoncé's fans, the Beehive, into overdrive, swarming her comments with bee emojis, fiercely protective of Queen Bey. The backlash was so intense that Steve had to back down from whatever he was planning with Jay-Z. Now, it seems Lori is done being manipulated and paraded around by Steve. She's taking a stand, ready to control her own story. Steve's probably fuming, especially with his machinations with Diddy now coming to light. Fans have been going wild in the comments, some saying, "I've been said Steve was pimping that child out. Ain't no way she ran through that many men, and no one is good enough. She was smart and got away from Puffy quick, fast, and in a hurry." It raises the question, is Steve really just chasing status and wealth, thinking a high-profile job or marriage might come from these connections, despite Lori not being an A-lister? It's troubling to think a parent would let their barely adult daughter date a man like Diddy, known for controversy and with rumors swirling about his past, especially given his connections to her father. It's downright creepy, honestly. So, what's your take? Is Lori about to rewrite her own script and step away from these manipulations? Or is she in too deep, tied to the benefits her career gets from these connections? I want to hear your thoughts down below. And don't forget to check out the next video for more deep dives into celebrity drama.